And then you realize somebody gave me that belief. Well-meaning, well-intentioned people who didn't want to see me get hurt gave me a belief that literally like duct taped me into a corner.
Yeah.
And this is all being like unlocked. And I'm like, holy shit. This is one of the greatest investments I've ever made in myself, is hiring this spiritual teacher to help me unlock some of my beliefs.
Yeah, I need a bag, bruh. Send it through quickly. I'm making his dog like I'm in the big leagues. Yeah, I told him I'ma hit it out of stands. I deserve another 100.
Welcome to another episode of the Married Game Podcast. We're the voice you trust when it comes to lust, and we are who you hire when she lacks desire. At Jesse's birthday party this Friday, there will be dancers, but today we've got questions and answers.
What kind of dancers?
We love that energy drink. She takes a slurp, but sometimes it makes her burp.
Oh my God. Shush.
Oh, wow. We love the quotes and we love the quips, but I need you to notice Jesse's beautiful red lips.
How'd you do that?
They all came to me, so I said I had to have 3 today. I had to do 3. It was a
I
threesome. I had a threesome today.
Oh, wow. I was feeling sassy with my lips.
Yeah, you look so good. Well done, Jesse Joy.
I walk in and I go, I know it's not your thing.
Mm-hmm. But you're my thing.
Yeah, that's what you said.
So if you're wearing red lips, they're my thing. Ooh, today's going to be a good one. Today is going to be a good one. First of all, we are in a really interesting spot where we've learned a lot about each other and have had to dig deep on some questions, which has been fun.
We continue to learn a lot.
Yeah. It just doesn't end.
I know.
Which actually, I think I've come to the conclusion that is actually the purpose of why 2 people get together. They are the perfect mirror and reflection for each other to grow and to keep growing. As I think of all the things that I've learned by you saying, hey, this is rubbing me wrong.
Well, we're here because of each other.
Well, what I'm saying is all the things that you've told me, that you go, hey, I don't like that, or blah, blah, blah. It's made me reconsider how I'm showing up in the world and maybe like what my wake is. And every single one of them has made me a better man, A. And B, speaking of burp, on that slurp, that first form energy drink, derp. Okay, it rhymed, but it wasn't very good. See, they're not always good, folks. They're almost always good, but not
That's
always
good. That's
good.
why you say them in your head and not out loud first.
Yeah, there we go. That does actually, I don't do that. I just say the 2 words. I thought quips and lips
and
slurp and burp and dancers and answers. And then I just step out.
And the rest just fills in itself.
But it's not always perfect. Anyhow, so I've become a better man because of the things you've shared with me. And secondly, I don't know how I would have seen them without you. Make sense?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have, if it's like you live with me, you see me, you know if I'm bullshitting, you know if I'm real, you know what's real. So it's just damn near impossible to see these things without somebody who... And because you have something I want.
Me.
You.
Closeness, relationship,
connection, love, your soul, your whole everything. And it's like, well, shit, you better figure out how to be the best version of you if this person that you love and you want connection with, you can't fuck up the connection over and over and over again and think you're going to be connected. What do you want to say?
Because I was just thinking, like, everything that you said that you've learned or you become a better man. Like, obviously, we have our initial connection and things that we think the same and get along. But all those things that we've had to grow through has been big fight, a little fight, a medium fight, fighting through egos, all to get here. Every single thing that you've learned, you said that you're here because of what I've told you, has been somewhat of a disagreement to get here. Every single one.
100%. And that's why I know I wouldn't have seen it without you, because I wouldn't battle through it with somebody because I'm not that close to them. Unless one of my best friends came up to me and they're like, yo, Keith, actually one of my best friends did come up to me this week when we were on the phone, and he said it in the most nice, wonderful way possible. about something that only he would know, like my close friends would know. And it was a very interesting angle. And I thought, thank you for sharing that. Like that is, and it was
it
really,
didn't hurt your ego?
Not at all. He was I had no ego.
But I hurt your ego.
You do, but not always. There are times where it's like, I get my ego hurt in the middle of the process. And then when I go back, I think, oh, that is just my ego. That's not like, she's right.
Because it takes a lot of courage for me to say something that's upsetting me or just bothering me, or I just want a little adjustment. It's like, gotta take that courage.
I think it's really hard for people to really, truly say what they really mean, what they really want to everybody.
Because it'll hurt their feelings.
Hurt their feelings, or
stir up something, cause an argument.
Or what if you like something and desire something that you know I don't want or like or desire, and so you're afraid if I say this and I'm honest with him, how is he then going to view me? Will that disrupt the connection? Like this is all, it's all really deep.
That's why it takes courage to say something.
Yeah.
And the other person's ego to try not to get in the way.
I think also the hey, and we've just learned this really, really, really recently. I don't want to leave because of this, but boy, this is a big deal. It feels like I would want to leave over this, even though I know it's not a big deal. That's just my ego and that's my inner child being scared. Like whatever I'm afraid of makes me want to run, and to be able to bring that to you and go, hey, I hear me. I don't want to leave, but boy, this bothers me and I don't know what to do and I just want to run. That takes a lot of courage too. And I'm not even good at saying that. We're only good at...
I was just thinking you're terrible at saying it like that because it feels like on this end, that might be my insecurities.
But that's because I've said it wrong all the time.
Yeah, you did. And it makes me feel like, well, I'm leaving and I've already made up my mind.
Yeah.
That's how it feels.
Yeah. And then we
tend to fight over that problem, not even the issue.
And that's not my intention. My intention is I want to go the distance with you forever. And boy, this hurts.
That would be lovely to hear.
Fuck, that would be lovely to hear.
Just like that.
But it took me so much pain. Self-induced. That's the fucking crazy. This is all, every one of your issues is your problem and you're self-induced. I happen to bring it up in you and you don't like it. And every one of my problems is self-induced and you bring it up to me and I don't like that you're the true reflection. So I get mad at the mirror. But that's actually what happens, man. It'd be like looking in the mirror and not liking what you want and going, fuck you, mirror.
Yeah. That's
how stupid a lot of our arguments are. How dumb are we?
Yes.
All right, this is
talking every week.
This is who you're listening to, guys.
A couple of dumb people.
Dumb alert.
Trying to figure it out.
We're just figuring out, but like learning this, my fight or flight, my flight's kicking in, but I know that's just something going on with me. But here's what my issue is. And dude, use that nonviolent communication book is really helping me see, even though I read it, and I thought I understood the points. We even talked about on our podcast. It is so deep. And I catch myself all the fucking time in my head violating those rules.
Well, look who we're raised by.
Yeah.
That's why. And so things that that's why we continue to learn about each other. It's because we continue to grow and learn things about ourselves and the reason why we act the way we act.
I've hired a couple people recently. You know, I have my spiritual coach, Lena, which has been mind-bending and life-changing. And I'm already set up another session like the one I did way before, like the very first one I did with her. Because I said, hey, there's stuff I want to work on. There's upper limiting beliefs I have about certain ideas and things. And I hired another coach who's like, he's called the Mind Architect.
Wow.
I can't wait to show you some of these videos. I'm going
That's
through.
Something you haven't told me. I'm excited for that.
This motherfucker is exploding my brain. And he talks about how the ego is the boa constrictor of the soul. And he talks about he doesn't help you solve problems. He helps you dissolve problems. And all problems are ones that you've made yourself. And success is peace. And the when you know you found happiness is when you've stopped trying to look for happiness. Like, it's
that's good already.
He talks about these views of ourselves and how we view ourselves and our identity and our upper thinking limiters of like why we're not, like we might say we want this. This is the greatest example. I got to share this. By the way, his name is Peter Crone, and I want to see his work manifest itself through my life. It's already changing my brain, but his thing is everything starts in the brain. So if you can change the brain, you can change your entire exterior, which we're starting to see. This is really happening. Like even the simple concept of I receive, I accept has been very hard for me. Holy fuck, that's been hard for me. And he talked about finding true happiness. If it's on the exterior, if it really truly comes from anything exterior rather than interior, he says, this is what you look like. Driving through Arizona summer and having your windows rolled down with the AC on so you can cool up all of Arizona.
Wow.
As opposed to rolling the windows up and just changing
yourself.
Yes.
Wow.
Because your happiness is within, it's not without. And that has been
That's a cool analogy.
This guy is full of, I know our listeners love my little, trust goes up, the lust goes up. If you yell, she stays in her shell, all those fun things. Yeah. This guy has his own set of them. And I was like, motherfucker.
So you relate to him in those it clicks for you.
He has so many things that are like opening my brain and I go, oh, wait a second. And then you realize somebody gave me that belief. Well-meaning, well-intentioned people who didn't want to see me get hurt gave me a belief that literally like duct taped me into a corner.
Yeah.
And this is all being like unlocked. And I'm like, holy shit. This is one of the greatest investments I've ever made in myself is hiring this spiritual teacher to help me unlock some of my beliefs. And then this mind architect guy. And it has just made me realize so many, and this nonviolent communication, these three little trifectas. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention jujitsu.
Oh my God!
But
this wouldn't be a real podcast. Man.
These things have literally been reshaping my brain, and I've been catching myself in little victim strains. I'm like, ooh, fuck, oh my God, Jesse's probably seen that. Oh fuck, Jesse had to put up with that. I'm in an undoing right now. I'm in an undoing.
Yeah.
And it feels so good. Oh, he said the only piece you need to surrender is your inauthentic piece of you.
Elaborate on that.
Meaning there's an authentic version of Keith that just wants to be loved, accepted, and there's like things that Keith likes and makes him feel safe. Whatever this inner Keith thing is. And then there's these masks of what I want you to think so that you accept me. And he said, you don't have to surrender the real you. It's the real you. There's nothing to surrender. It's the mask you have to surrender back to who you really are. And it's almost like admitting and saying, hey, I actually have to admit I'm like this. And then
it helps you see the mask and then drop them.
Which is the hardest thing to do. On my journey, that was the hardest thing. And everyone's like, bro, all you have to do is just let go. And I'm like, but you get in there and we all have these narratives and these stories and these lies. And I literally am like, fuck it. And then you see it. It's like, I feel like I have a new set of eyes. It's fucking me up in so many good ways. And it's making me act a little erratic on certain things. Because I'm like, I see something and I have this big knee-jerk reaction to it. Because now I'm like, I saw it for real. Imagine if you had no idea. You had a big, huge zit right on your forehead. And it's been there ever since I met you.
Wow.
And today, you went into the mirror and you go,
what the fuck?
Yeah. And you're like, Keith, have you seen this? And I'm like,
all confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't?
Oh my God. That sometimes when you say something to me that you just had this big revelation, I go,
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're like, can you believe that? I'm like, I can believe that.
Yes.
I'm so confused at your big revelation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is so embarrassing to the ego. Like you walk out and you just feel like, wait, so you guys have all seen this like literally the entire time? And it's like, yeah, we were just waiting for you to. We were waiting for you. And I saw it so real in a guy at our live event this last week. And he's going through so much pain. And men act very differently when they're in pain. And especially when they have not been, like, asking for help, seeking help, surrendering where you're weak. Like, I heard Garrett say it yesterday. He said the most courageous man isn't the man who has everything together. It's the man who realizes he doesn't have it together, admits it, and says, now I'm really willing to work on it. This is the set free, but I saw it in this man's eyes. He could not get himself over the old narrative. And I know what he's doing is he's holding up this shield thinking this will protect me. Literally, and this, I love this man. Like, I would literally do anything for this guy because I feel him, and you know who I'm talking about. This is what happened. His wife has left twice, and he got her back through his smooth. This guy's a great talker.
And big heart. He's such a
huge
big
heart. Yeah. Like, I like, genuinely, this guy's the salt of the earth.
It's just the masks.
And he said, and I showed him this third time, because he can tell, like, she's really done now, even though you and I know she's not, because well, you and I know. Yeah. We know. And he goes, and so we're saying, hey, you've got to go a different direction this third time. You lucked out this second time, these two times. And then I had the real conversation with him and said, and honestly, you've gotten by on being able to talk good your entire life. You're exceedingly overweight. Your business is a 1 out of 10 where you want it to be. There's certain things about your life that you admit are 1s and 2s out of 10, but yet you talk differently. And what I saw, I saw myself in this man.
Yep, that's what I was going to say.
I saw myself, and that's why I have so much empathy for. Because I'm like, oh, I've been that scared little guy. And here was the lie. He's like, it's so hard for me to believe that this third way will work when I have proof of the other two, it somewhat worked.
I remember that moment.
And he said it again more emphatically the next day here when we were talking privately. And I said, I need to stop you. What made you think that this kind of worked? Because you temporarily got her back, but you never changed. So now, out of the kindness and the bigness of this woman's heart, because she does love you and does want to be with you, if you would change, you've nosedived everything in your life. Think being addicted to and obsessed with something that almost works. That's all of us, though, in so many areas of our life.
What's crazy is that you showed him the real answer and what to do, and he's still resisting it.
Yeah, but that's him unable to surrender that mask, that shield that he thinks, I've got this. And
he feels like it's keeping him safe, right?
Yeah.
That's what he has to break through, because it's not.
Yeah, and I think that sometimes there just has to be a deep enough pain for a man to go. Like, you have to let go, kind of like, and you eventually have to tap.
Man or woman, for sure.
Yeah, you just have to eventually go tap. And I think what a loving, infinite intelligence that created the math behind all of us as beings, that knows us so intimately and understands the wiring of how we work so precisely, that knows, unless I put Keith in this situation, he actually won't do the right thing.
Wow.
Which another one of Peter Cron's saying is, you have to have full faith and trust that life has your back, because you're a part of life. We all think we're separate from life.
How do you get that trust, though?
You just have to believe it. You either believe it or you don't. And here's why I believe it. I don't need any proof. I already have enough proof that is actually more advantageous in this life. And he talked about, if you want to live a peaceful life, a life full of peace, that doesn't mean absence of war, but like inner peace, that no matter what you're going through, everything is great. Everything. Yeah. We think of ourselves as so separate from life, when in reality, we are life. Life has always had our back, and life honors truth. And the further you get away from like truth, like facts, like what really is happening, the more, and we all lie to ourselves so deeply. Here's another thing that I heard from our good buddy, Dan Martell. Shout out to Dan Martell. What a blessed,
we love you,
beloved human being that guy is. And he said, what if God doesn't bless you because he knows if he does bless you, you'll stop working?
So that is the blessing.
Meaning, if he entrusts you with this much, you'll stop. You'll stop shining your light. And I've thought so many times, I'm like, dude, we make $100 million. Let's go buy an island, get the fuck out of here. And it's like, uh-oh. I just said I'm a one-way dude. I receive, but I can't give out. I'll be done shining my light. That's not advantageous for a man. When I am shining my light, I am at my happiest. I am at my best. When I am like disciplined with my body, the fruit of it is fucking fantastic for all around, myself included. Yourself included. B, it's tempering this laziness. And we've been sold this work hard and then retire. Like you get to quit, but
yeah, that's why people still play the lotto. Like people really play that thing.
Yeah. What a shift of mindset that our dear brother Dan, like literally so eloquently, he's like, I think I've been this blessed because I push my foot on the gas harder the more I get blessed. Because gratitude's the gasoline.
And that shows.
Yeah. It
really shows.
But I am having a mind fuck of a good time learning all these things and realizing I've seen everything backwards. Speaking of seeing stuff backwards, I got some really good stuff for you today. Yeah. So
you're whipping that thing out.
Yeah. That's what she said. That is what she said, folks. That is what she said. Okay. I want to do a fun or gross or like a hot or not with some items, and I want to run them past you.
Oh, shit.
Okay. How you feeling?
I don't know. A little nervous.
This is what I wanted. A little sphincter pucker. That'd be good. All right, here we go. All right.
We didn't go over this.
This is why it's so fun.
Fresh.
Yeah, here we go. Don't try and cheat, dude.
I am.
You look into my eyes. Okay, Here we go. Hot or not? I'll just put it up right here. Hopefully it doesn't block any good views. Brian, is that messing up any views right there? Probably not. Can I still see my amazing left bicep? Okay, there we go.
Probably not the bicep, but the face.
Okay, here we go. Hot or not, or otherwise known fun or gross? Farting.
Gross.
Burping.
Nah, I don't care about that one.
Neck hair.
Gross.
Sweaty man.
Obviously disgusting. Unless you're like this really hot model or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's like a rarity.
Handy around the house.
So hot. What'd you do last night? Fixed a light?
Yeah.
That was hot.
Yeah. Maybe that's
even Jovi was like, Dada, good job. Like she even was like, wow.
Tell him the story. I don't want to be the guy telling him the story.
Jovi's light wouldn't turn off and I was trying to fix it myself and I was laying her down and then I was like, Dada, we need help. And you're like, what? And you come with your tools and you fix it. And Jovi's like, I don't think she think you can do it. And then you did it. She goes, wow, Dada, good job.
Yeah. It's so cute because you guys don't see a lot of that side of me. Jovi probably has never seen much of that side of me at all. But it was so fun tearing into that electrical box and pulling the wires out and wiggling them. Oh, there we go. Boom.
Yeah, and you fixed it.
Yeah, it was fun. Okay.
Brag moment.
Thank you. All right. This is which one is hotter to you?
Okay.
Rich or driven and ambitious?
Obviously the second one.
Okay. So
100%.
Okay. So you've got on.
I don't like just a fat slob rich dude who inherited money. I like to drive. That's why I like money. It's because it goes along with that.
There you go.
So that is number one.
Ooh.
Hit me again.
Okay.
Hit me again.
Well, you said obvious on some of these things.
Not so obvious.
Well, I've met women that said the exact opposite on a lot of these things in my life. So let me go through and just explain where some women say,
preference.
"No,
that's
what I wanted to hear." Okay, so farting is pretty much across the board. No woman likes that.
Nobody likes that.
Okay, that's gross. Now I used to take. I was like, that's so weird because I grew up in a farting family. And I when my sister would fart,
oh,
I literally wanted to disown her. And my dad and my brother.
You probably got that like anger inside of you. You're like, how the fuck can you do that?
That is. It was.
And I get that for you.
Okay, so just so you know, like I've felt that before. And I was like, you guys are the dirtiest animals. I don't want to smell your ass.
As you walk by and do it.
Okay, so I've had it happen to me and I get it.
You had been with a client who just literally was looking into your eyes. You were teaching and farted. And he's looking into your soul and he farts and you're like, you came home and you're like, I'll never do that to you again.
Yeah.
And you've done it here and there, but that has really
sometimes
subsided.
I've been walking through the house and let a fart slip. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, hey, my bad. But I understand why you don't like it. Burping, most people don't like burping.
Your ego still is like, yeah, I farted in my own house.
If I'm around you guys, you've requested that I don't fart around you because it would make your life. What was it? It would enhance your life.
Yeah.
I get it. No problem. I have no issue with that. Sometimes it's just like you're in my bathroom at the same time as me. I'm probably gonna fart because I'm in my bathroom. I'm naked. I'm trying to fucking make my hair look good, and I have to fart. So, but
go to your closet. Just close that door real fast.
This is so good. Burping. Most people don't like that, but you seem to think maybe there's a little Eastern philosophy flowing through you.
Don't tell everyone I burp. I burp a lot. I just can't drink anything fizzy. It just comes out. That's why you said burp.
Yeah.
Now I'm embarrassed.
Neck hair. That's obviously. I don't know of anyone. There's some women that like a man with hair everywhere. It's pretty rare, but there's some girls in Montana I met that were pretty into it.
Yeah, no.
Sweaty man. Now this is a topic for debate.
You got to be like, what the hell is this, Aquaman or something?
Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Or Ragnar from Vikings.
And like it's hot that you get sweaty.
Yeah.
And then you shower right away, and I want to smell soap on your body.
Yeah. So imagine me.
You can't sweat and then go lay on the couch.
Oh, that's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
That is disgusting.
It?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So imagine me.
And this is a big deal. I just want everyone to know it's super big deal.
Well, but let me
smells.
Well, smells are a big deal. Yeah. Imagine me, just a pair of jeans, my dick roots out, axe in my hand,
ew,
bareback.
No axe.
Listen to me. Not the spray, an actual axe, like a splitting maul.
Okay. All right.
I'm chopping wood for our campfire, and I work up a sweat.
And then you toss your hair like that.
Hot or not?
That is hot, and then you better march upstairs and shower and get your snugglies on, and we snuggle by the fire.
Get me cozy.
You better smell like soap.
All right. Handy around the house. I don't know. A woman doesn't like that.
But seeing you do stuff, handy, like that handyman stuff is like a turn on.
Why is that? That's universal.
Because you're taking care of this little lady, you know? Like it feels like you're taking care of your family, but I can physically see you do that. Like I know you have the drive and you make the money and you're doing really good, amazing in that area. But I don't see you do that too often. So like last night I was like, wow.
Yeah.
It's just a little something. I like it.
Here was a Jovi thing that she did that you do.
Wow.
No. It was
what?
She goes like this. So I'm tearing into this electrical box.
Oh wow, here we go.
And what did she say? Be careful. Or no, she said, don't break it. Or like you don't hurt yourself. She said there was some negative comment.
That's love.
I get it now, but I'm like, oh shit, this runs deep in this DNA.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not school marming. It's not momming you. It's like, I love you. Don't get hurt.
Yeah.
You're helping me, so let me help you with this comment that is so unnecessary.
But I learned so much about you from her.
Because you can't be like, don't talk to me like that to her.
Yeah, I just go, oh, that is, but it's cute because I know where it's coming from her. And I go, wait, if that is the intention at that age, and Jessie has worked on herself for a really fucking long time, the intention couldn't have gotten worse. So I'm making some string attachments here. Okay.
You don't be so butthurt when I just say, be careful because I love you. You can't be like, shut the fuck up. Like, because you know what I mean? You just have to know me. That's me.
Yeah.
And now I just try to shut my mouth.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Am I?
Yeah.
At times.
No one's perfect, Jessie Joy. No one's perfect. Okay, Q&A. We've got 2 questions from men listening on the show.
This is fun.
I know, right?
It's like a game.
It feels like that to me.
Ding, ding, ding.
You're so fun, man. I love being around you. Okay. Number one question. This comes from Jeffrey A. So let's just call him Joffrey because Joffrey kind of sounds.
I knew Jeffrey A before. That's fun.
You met a Jeffrey A?
I have.
Oh, all right. Well, hey, Jeffrey A, shout out to you. We're going to call you Joffrey. If we ever meet you in real person, please identify yourself as Joffrey and we'll know exactly who you are. All right. First question. Why do you guys emphasize staycation so much? We are not all rich. What can we do instead?
That's a great question. Mm-hmm. You can go camping.
Well, first of all, why do we emphasize staycation so much? Gosh. That's part one. And then
it's just to get out of your comfort zone of bubble that you just, like when I'm at home, even when I go to a staycation or anywhere, I come straight home, I start doing the chores. Like I don't sit down, or I sit down and I'm like, fuck, I got all the chores. It's just this peace of mind that if I'm not home, I can't do anything about it. Mm. I'm freer outside. That's why.
It just hit me. I just realized this is going to be your last podcast at this age. I won't say the number.
Okay.
26.
That's whatever the age
26. Is. Okay.
And then so what to do?
What can they do instead?
You can do a lot of things. You can go on a bike ride. You can go have a picnic. You can go on
staycation. Let's think staycation.
Well,
not just
I'm just saying get outside of the house.
Staycation though.
What about your friends? I don't know. Piling your kids together.
Well, I thought you were in some real good.
Well, now you've stumped me because I was just on a roll of brainstorming.
Well, you have great day ideas, but I was
camping.
There you go. I think something like that. Like go up and go, you can go camping for a night.
You can go camping.
But to the rich thing, I think also I think you go to the place that is maybe price appropriate for where you're at. So we enjoyed the 3-story place, and it was the nicest place in the entire.
Yeah, Waldorf.
We
like,
like
you don't have
that.
to do those things.
But yeah, it's like okay, so you don't want to spend that amount.
That's true because I grew up had no money at all, and we stayed. A couple of times we got a friend's cabin, and it was like we all just piled in. We went to Mexico, but Tijuana, and like it was horrible, and we stayed at like this little hole in the wall like motel. And you got free donuts in the morning. Like, you just make shit happen if you really want to have an experience.
Yeah. You nailed it. That's for me, that'd be my answer. Why we do staycations is for the experience. Mm-hmm. It is saying we're going to just step out of whatever our normalcy is because this is an adventure, man.
And it's so bonding when you as a family, like, go somewhere.
Road trips.
That too. Because it's just your family. It's just you guys against the world. You have no one else to rely on but each other.
Yeah.
And so it's so bonding. I think that's why we emphasize it so much.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's you get to experience like that special piece of life, which maybe it should be like that every day, but it's not for most people.
Yeah.
And you get that like, hey, dude, a lot of our staycations are, well, we live right on a resort.
I know, yeah.
But we've gone up to Huntington Beach, so we drive 30 minutes. Newport Beach, 30 minutes.
Well, even driving to Vegas, like, and we know people there, or you can stay at a hotel, or whatever the case is, right? You can go to another state where another family member is. Yeah. That drive time of 5 hours where it's just us, and you have to stop, find a bathroom, get some snacks, like... Yeah. It's so bonding.
It really is.
Yeah, because then you literally are out in the world, not at home, nothing, you can't do the dishes, laundry, animals, whatever. And you're just out literally in the middle of nowhere. Like, how freeing does that feel when it's just you guys that get out in the world like that?
Yeah, so the answer is it's an experience. You get to experience freedom together. You get to experience the joy of travel, no matter how far you go. You get in a different environment. You get to meet different people, have different experiences, have more inside jokes, more memories, more family time. And then the money has nothing to do with it because at every level you're thinking about what is your level, like what interests you. We might stay at the nicest place in Newport Beach, but there's people that we know that'd be like, "Wow, dude, no, I'm just gonna like." They bought the hotel, so it's like that has nothing to do with anything. So
we used to go to Havasu all the time too.
Yeah, just you go to the river, go to the lake, go to the camper.
Yeah, campsite.
Just do shit that's fun. Something my dad he would drive me to my my surfing competitions. And it would be like up in Ventura from here, which is only like 2.5 hour drive. We got a hotel. We got there. We stayed there a couple days. I got to surf this new beach with all these new guys I had just met. And so it was like some of my best memories are with my dad doing that. And it was just us driving his Cadillac. My dad literally was like, I'm going to make sure you understand the Beatles and Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Oh, hell yeah.
And my dad like raised me on classic rock. It's like whenever I shoot pool or whenever I do, I'm like,
we
boom.
put that on.
Always.
Yeah.
Because like my dad, I've listened to every Beatles tape 100 times. So, all right, beautiful. Speaking of that, I want to ask you, what is your favorite childhood memory? No, not favorite childhood memory. What is your favorite memory with me?
I have a lot. Oh, I know. Driving up the coast and the East Coast when we stayed at a bunch of spots.
Oh, shit.
That was super fun.
That really was.
That was. We stayed in hotels. We were gone for like, I don't know, a couple of weeks?
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, we started way up north and then eventually ended up down south somewhere, mid-south Maryland, maybe.
Yeah, but then we went to Florida too. I think we just stayed all on the East Coast for a while and drove it.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was really cool.
Oh, that's fun.
All right, we got another question. This one is from Jerry.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was
I had
Jerry.
an Uncle Jerry too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
When I hear the word Jerry, I think of Jerry Garcia and the Grateful Dead.
And now ice cream.
And the question is this from Jerry. Jerry, what's up? Glad you asked the question. What is the best way to ask my wife for sex?
I think that varies because people vary in the way and who they are and what they like. Some people like it aggressive. Some people don't want to be asked. Some people want it spontaneous. Some people want it planned. I'd have to dive deep more in the relationship. But I'll just say the way I like to be asked. Well, if we're going to get personal here, you more like morning sex, right? Mm-hmm. And you'll ask me in person or a nice text or whatever we're doing, depends. And you're like, are you free in the morning? And I go, why, yes, I am. Can you meet me at this time? You go, why, yes, I can. I'll see you then. It's just really cute, flirty.
That's the digital request.
Digital, or you'd ask me in person.
Yeah.
Or last night I gave you a good hug and you go,
Yeah.
you know, and I know, like, okay, plan the morning.
This guy's one, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the best way to ask my wife, Jerry? Okay, so.
Well, I'm a planner. That's why I like to plan.
Yeah. So. The obvious answer, of course, it does vary, but I think if there's some rules, I hate rules, principles, guidelines that you follow, these would be what I would have you follow to ask your wife for sex. So if the question is, what's the best way to ask my wife for sex? Well, I don't know what the best way to ask your wife for sex is. I know the best way to ask for sex from my wife and to how we initiate that sequence. And I don't know that there is one best way.
Yeah.
But I can give you a couple of guidelines on what might help you in that. So we teach in Married Game, depending on how your text game is with your wife or your verbal game, there needs to be a couple of things. And I know this is going to sound obvious. Oh, well, this is why you have to have your dials dialed. You got to know. It's not because that sex is a reward for you having your dials up. It's just you're going to feel way more confident and worthy of asking for connection when you've done your dials. And if your dials are up, it's actually going to create real connection outside the bedroom with your partner. Which
increases your chances of absolutely, yes, can't wait, see you later, see you right now, all the things.
Yeah, and so that's that. Number two, there's usually a lot of head chatter that goes on in a man's brain and where he's rejecting himself before he's asked because he's been rejected so much.
Do you do that?
Not anymore.
Oh, okay.
No.
Because you're worthy of.
Well,
you feel worthy of because your dials are up?
Yeah, and I have a track record and history with you where we have an awesome sex life. So it's not like...
Good. No, I don't want you to feel like you have chatter in your brain.
Yeah, but I hear guys, like I'll give you an example of a guy, and then we're going to get to what I think the guidelines should be. I had a guy today that he went through our program. He's 45 days into the program, and he's like, dude, I just talked to him yesterday. We're going to release the testimonial too. It's insane. He's like, the quality of our sex it's just been astronomical. He goes, I never knew sex could be this amazing. But he said, even better than that, he goes, I came home for the first trip ever in our 30 years of being married. And my wife was on the front porch waiting for me. And when I walked in, she gave me the biggest hug and said, I miss you. I love you. I feel so blessed to have you as my husband. And he goes, dude, he goes like, our sex is insane right now. But one of the things that he mentioned was they were on a trip recently and he wanted to have sex with her. And he's like, you know, whatever. And she goes, I have a headache. And his story has been, if she wants to have a headache, if she has a headache, in the past, that's been means she doesn't want to have sex. And so he's like, all right, Keith has said, don't be a little bitch in this moment. He was so calm and he goes, oh, no big deal. We can just maybe do it tomorrow. And she goes, no, I'm not saying I don't want to do it. She's just saying, I have a headache, but I'm definitely wanting to do it.
Wow.
So he
could have just ruined that whole thing.
Exactly. So that's why you got to be dialed up. Number one, you got to declutter all this chatter. You have to just divorce it. And I know you've got all these feelings of rejection and emotion around sex. Most men do. You're not alone. Every fucking guy does. And nobody likes being rejected. Ask most women why they don't initiate. And it's not because their libido's low. It's because the thought and the devastation, actually rejection for them is actually more greater than it is for us guys. For most part. Wouldn't you agree?
I think so, yeah.
So what do you say? I think you can say, hey, what are you up to later? Hey, are you busy later? Hey, do you want to have some fun later? Do you want to have some adult time? I never got into the sexy time. That sounds weird to me, but some people like it.
Yeah.
But it's weird to you too.
I wouldn't want to hear that.
I could see your body language. When I said sexy time, we were both like, ugh, who fucking says that?
Time.
Yeah, you want some sexy time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the what are you up to later? Those are the types of things. But if you're radically estranged, like, so I say that knowing that there's a lot of guys that listen to this and are watching, and they're so disconnected that they're thinking, what's the right way to ask her for sex?
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have the right abracadabra.
Yeah.
But it's not the
What's
abracadabra.
the right way to manipulate her into having sex?
How do I get what I want?
Yeah.
Without giving her what she wants is actually the question.
Any of the work.
Yeah. And you know what?
And inner work, outer work on your marriage, work things for her, for yourself, all the things.
And you know what
That's what the dials.
Yeah. Go ahead. I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, that was it.
Well, what I've discovered, and really, I don't know why I just recently have seen so clearly, is that it's none of these guys' fault. Like, I had no idea of how horrible I was when you left me until you left me. It wasn't like I was like, oh, I've got these great examples and I know I'm not living up to it. I was asleep, just dead fucking asleep.
Yeah.
And when you said, hey, I'm out of here, it's like for real this time. It was the thing that woke me up and go, okay, well, what do I do? But I felt so lost. I didn't really even know who to turn to at that point. So I have like so much empathy for these guys, not to mention the feminist movement and like women's empowerment. Like, they weren't already so powerful already. I understand they want to vote and they want to equal this and all. I get it. But they've almost made women believe they don't need a man and they're like weak or less than if they want to actually have that connection with a man.
That's what's sad.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like, I believe in people are people and like the equal pay. And if I'm going to work just and do the exact same thing, we should be paid the same.
Yeah.
So like,
the gender shouldn't matter.
And I hate that people have even a name for things like a feminist or whatever. But I also believe that we do need each other and we help each other grow. And I make the baby and you help make the baby.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's the same. So that's what's confusing is like, I don't need you. Like, no, you need me. I need you. Like, I like this.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah.
That's what's confusing. Well, I can sure tell him what not to do.
Okay, let's start there.
I can tell him not to just walk by and go honk honk and think she's going to give it up.
There you go.
Those situations, you'll never, I mean, I wouldn't say never, but you're really not going to get any.
Yeah. Well, it's if you do, it's the scraps. And a guy knows there's a difference between feasting and just scrapping.
Mm-hmm.
Feasting is like when you're receiving all of my animal instinct that's just fighting like crazy to get in you and stay in you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave something in there before I pull out. You know what I mean? Like that is, and you receiving that with joy and pleasure is what every man wants.
Yeah.
That's feasting. Releasing the tiger, we call it in married game, right? Mm-hmm. But scraps is where, you go through and honk honk. She might just be like, I got to throw this guy a crumb. But that's what guys hate. So the best way to ask is, first of all, you got to do these things. And then remember that you're also requesting something. A lot of guys show up demanding. And
you nailed it.
And women that feels like they don't have a choice. And even if you make it seem like it's a choice, like, hey, would you like to have sex? If she says no, if you then try to guilt trip her afterwards, she realizes that wasn't a real request. It was actually a demand. Humans are smart. Yep. They understand these things. So the other thing of why understanding and being a provocateur, why dialing this up, and then why decluttering your brain of these narratives and stories and just ask as if it's the first time type thing without a whole remembrance of the rejection. Way easier said than done. Yeah. Everything's easier said than done.
Absolutely.
But it also gives you like this an inner strength within you that knows I'm showing up for this human being as much as I can to make them feel loved. That just the law of reciprocity is, if I'm giving my heart to you in a way that is meaningful to you, why wouldn't you want to give it back to me? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's the flip right there. Mm-hmm. That's what we teach right there.
Yeah.
Is to have that confidence that what you say you're going to do, you do it. Mm. And that you're doing all that you can, that you know of, for yourself and then for her.
Yeah. Okay, I think we should do questions every single episode because
it was so fun.
They really are, and it allows us to get into nuance that is really, really beautiful. So, to Joffrey and Jerry, J&J, just like Jesse Joy, and Jiu-Jitsu. All right, there we go. Hey, listen, don't be a nerd. Spread the word. Like literally, share this with one of your friends and say, hey, I care about you. I think you should watch this.
Literally.
You know what was also interesting, and the reason why I want to say it here is I met a guy. He goes, I had some really good friends. I said, not good enough to tell you the truth, apparently. And he's like, fuck, you're right. So don't be a nerd. Spread the word. Keep crushing it. Oh, by the way, how many by the ways have I done on this episode?
You know.
6.
You know.
Hey, if you need help, there's no shame in your game, man. It is okay. Nobody knows the stuff we're talking about and literally lives it. I have nobody to like go, oh, there it is. So we've just forged ahead, tried a lot of stuff, always are improving ourselves. We've taught everything we know inside of our Married Game portal. And if you got questions like this, submit them to support@keithyackey.com. We love hearing your questions, or send them to my DMs or send them to Jesse's DMs. And if you need help, man, go to marriedgame.com. We got a new video that's being posted here, probably by the time you're seeing this, that will just help you look through and see where you're really at as a man and what it's going to take for you to get the ultimate marriage, the elite love connection that you have been always wanting. So that being said, keep crushing it, because that shit is contagious.